Hello YouTube fans, this is TheSkullKlown. I'm here to talk about Godzilla Minus One. This is not a review. This is mostly a spiritual enlightenment video. This movie shows us, obviously to depict us as Godzilla, they show us literally just going after these orcs to the point that they try so hard, they even think of a plan to even destroy us, basically, but it does not work at all. You can literally see Godzilla regenerate in this movie. There's literally a bomb that goes into his mouth and it explodes, and half of this is gone, and then you saw it regenerate. That is what we can do. You and I can do that shit in a higher knowledge and a higher not even higher knowledge, in a higher vibration. That is what we can do. These orcs know it. That's why they depicted it in movies. They can't stop us. You can't do what we do. And every time we throw a nuclear breath at us, that symbol of the nuclear breath that they did in that movie is literally a symbolize of what we were as the nuclear bomb. And we can do that. We can literally send out that radiation out of our mouths and literally cause a nuclear explosion right in front of their faces. Because we can do that. Alright? We can literally do that. We can do that to the point that these wicked ones would literally look at us to the point that we can't do anything to this being. We can't do anything to this person because we're titans. All right. If you are so called Afro, Hispanic, and so called Black, then you should look at your freaking history about the Titans. Look at the Babylonian story about the Babylonian creation story. Look at that, but don't look at it from another YouTuber. Look at it from this YouTuber. Hold on, I got it. Because let's see, Babylonian creation. So the Babylonian creation story. This is what you should see. That is the story. That is the video you should watch if you're gonna watch the Babylonian story of creation. It's from Fiona, from another orc. So mainly because these orcs know who we are. They know who we are. Because now in that same video, it's literally pointed out that Marduk took the blood of the monsters that was fighting alongside Tiamat, alongside Mother Gaia, and used the blood to make the modern day people right now, not the humans, the modern day people that we call so-called Black and Hispanic, basically. That is what they did. That is what they did. Okay? Okay? Okay. That is what they did. Sorry about that. But that is what they did. Okay? That's what happened to us in ancient times. Okay? And we need to remember it as such. Because if we don't remember it, we're doomed to repeat this freaking story. We're doomed to repeat the same bullshit that we went through in ancient times. We're not going through that shit again. Because some of us know that we're not going to go through that shit again because we're tired of that shit. We're not going through that shit. Alright? The reason that the Titans are not supposed to be in hell, Tartarus, in the physical realm, is because we were manifested, we were born in a higher realm of heaven. You know, have you ever heard of Asgard? Asgard is literally here while heaven is up here. Okay, Asgard is just gods and other beings there that watches over heaven. But the Titans are literally part of the cosmos. They are the planets. They are the stars. They are literally anything that you literally see on the planet. They are grass. They are water. They are fire. Those are the Titans. Okay? Without the Titans, those elements would not fucking goddamn exist. Don't tell me that they would. No, it wouldn't. No, it wouldn't. You can't have a Titan that's made out of fire and water and automatically they're gone, and then you see water and fire everywhere. It's because they literally are that. It's because they became that in a realm that that they're not supposed to. They just became that in a higher density realm. We just became more dense, basically. That's really it. That's really it. We became more dense, and we're not supposed to be dense at all. We're supposed to be what? We're supposed to be to the point that we literally can travel anywhere across the cosmos. Okay? So in Godzilla -1, you see these orcs trying to get rid of Godzilla any chance they get, right? And they can't do it. They can't do it. Even by the end, when they thought they did, by the end of that movie, spoiler alert, obviously, by the end of that movie, you literally see Godzilla regenerating. All right, Godzilla has always regenerated before. We've seen it in other movies, but in this movie, actually shows a process of him regenerating, and he regenerates pretty fast to the point that you're like, oh shit. And when he does regenerate, you see the markings on his face and everything like that. That's kind of like brownish and stuff like that. That's it healing itself and stuff like that. And then Godzilla gets more pissed off and everything like that. That's because he knows he cannot be stopped. That he knows he cannot be beaten. All right, because he knows who he is, and this is what we should know about ourselves. We are titans. We cannot die. Okay. Are you kidding me? We cannot die. And I want to talk about the whole so-called black and so-called Afro-Hispanic, because those are labels. Those are labels. Those are labels. Because this is what these wicked ones pointed out. At the end of the day, we are part of nature. Okay? We are carbon. We are plasma. Okay? Okay? Seriously. See, you see that little curl on my hair right there? You see that? Look at that shit. Only people from nature have that type of hair. You need to have like wavy curly hair or afro hair or Rastafari hair. Seriously. Some of us have straight hair, yeah, but not all of us. Okay? Some of us literally have this curly hair and stuff like that. It's just that you don't see my hair like an afro because I haven't used the comb and all that, but you can tell I do have an afro. You know? And they want to talk about this whole like mixing stuff. And the thing is too, when there's an afro, so-called afro person with a Puerto Rican person that's also afro, what are you talking about? At that point, what are you talking about? Yes, there's Mexicans and Salvadorians now, not afro, but there's a reason why there's a version of them that is afro, basically. Okay, I know someone's probably going to point out that, that someone's going to point out that we'll experiment on or some shit like that, and I'm going to be like, the hell are you talking about? If that was true, I literally would not go. I wouldn't be able to go outside. I wouldn't be able to get a tan, a beautiful tan that doesn't burn my skin. This is just the freaking experience that I've been having. Experience that I've been having, and that's why I tell people. I look at the sun, I look at the moon, and they freaking block it with a freaking fake ass cloud. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? I mentioned this before, but I have to mention it because it needs to be said. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? I know there's some brothers and sisters out here and they'll be like, oh, well, you probably all hybrid because of that. The moon is fake and shit like that. No, look. No, it's not. And if you think so, that's fine. That's fine if you think that. I'm not going to change your mind or anything like that. That is fine. But when the moon is still out there and you see these wicked ones all gone, you're going to be questioning, wait a minute, what? Because you haven't experimented with the moon. Have you? Have you? Then you can't say anything. Have you literally went outside with the moon and literally meditated with it? And then they block it. Did you have that experience? Then leave me the fuck alone. Because you didn't experience what I experienced. And you can't automatically say that, oh, you were this and that, if you didn't do it yourself. What the fuck's wrong with you? Don't be that naive. Don't be that dumb. Don't be that dumb. Don't be that dumb and naive. I'm literally encouraging you to try to test it out to see if I'm fucking goddamn lying. Because I know I'm not. Because I'm telling you my experience, motherfucker. Alright? Seriously. Okay? I know who I am. For example, I've mentioned this before. I had a dream about Remedy H. Shout out to that brother. I had a dream about Remedy H. We were just laughing and joking. He like laughed and he put his arm on me, but I didn't know what we were talking about. We're just laughing and giggling, and I see him laughing like this, and he just puts his arm on me. And then another dream that I had is just me and him just talking. We're just chilling, talking, going like this, watching the sunset and shit like that. Just watching like the beautiful sunset with beautiful ocean and stuff like that. Just talking like on a balcony. That's all I can remember. Me and him just talking. I don't know what we're talking about, but I do remember the setting, and I remember the same thing with the setting when I first had a dream about him. You know, because I have to point that out. Because at the end of the day, too, because the reason I point this out is because if that if I wasn't part of nature, I would have died a long time ago. I would have died when Remedy H. When I had a dream about Seema, aka Remedy H. Shout out to our brother. I would have died if I had a dream about him and he touched me. I would have died, but I did not. Right? Right? Because I know who I am. I'm not fucking an idiot. Okay? And I'm telling you my experience. My fucking experience. Nobody else's. My experience. You can disagree with me all you want. That's fine. But I'm telling you my experience. That's all I'm saying. That is literally all I'm saying. Alright? And in this movie, in Godzilla Minus One, they literally tell you who the fuck you are, man. Why do you think this movie is making billions of money right now? Why do you think all these orcs are praising this movie like a motherfucker? Because they know who we are. These orcs know. These orcs know. These orcs. Look. There's a reason why the MCU, Harry Potter, and Star Wars made a buttload of money. And then you have Godzilla Minus One that made the most money out of all the Godzilla movies. I think it made more money than Godzilla vs. King Kong, the original and the remake. Which is crazy because if you are a Godzilla fan, you would know that Godzilla's highest film has been King Kong vs. Godzilla and Godzilla vs. Kong. They haven't reached that number of status, except for Godzilla Minus One. Why? I know why, but I'm asking you why. It's the same thing when they point out Kong vs. Godzilla or Godzilla vs. Kong. Why? Because they're literally showing us fighting these fucking goddamn orcs. You just interpretate them as giants, and we were already titans anyways. And plus, a long time ago, this atmosphere used to be so different, it was ridiculous, guys. This atmosphere was so different that literally everything was huge. Huge. The animals, the freaking insects, the plants, even us. We were fucking huge. We were titans. We were titans. We were titans. And we still are titans. Okay? It's just that we had a fight a long time ago, and then we got downgraded to a form that, yes, we could still use our abilities, but to the point when these wicked ones came in and then started doing stupid shit, and then guess what? We fell even farther than that. Okay? That's why I mentioned before that these wicked ones wish they were around when the gods and the titans fought, and they were not around in this planet when it did happen. They weren't. They weren't. They probably heard rumors and shit like that, but I guarantee you they were not here when this shit did happen. The reason I say this is because the atmosphere was too high for them. It was too high vibration to the point that they would have died, dude. It was gods versus the titans. You think they would have survived that? Survived that if they could came here? Come on. No, they wouldn't. No, they wouldn't. Are you kidding me? Okay, imagine this. An orc, right now, being around the time when the titans and the gods were literally fighting each other. You think that orc would survive around that time? No, he wouldn't, or she wouldn't. The hell's wrong with y'all? You know they wouldn't. You know they wouldn't. The atmosphere was too high. The atmosphere was to the point that they wouldn't understand and overstand. They would have died automatically once they freaking hit the atmosphere. And that's what's happening to our planet right now. Believe it or not, believe it or not. But they just want to call it global warming. And since I say that word, now it's going to be added to the Facebook, to the YouTube shit, which makes no sense. Just because I said a word doesn't mean you need to fucking add it underneath my fucking video, YouTube. What if I said COVID? You have to add that too? Oh wait, you're confused. Now you don't know what to add underneath. Automatically block. The hell's wrong with you? Fucking stupid YouTube piece of shit. Seriously. Seriously. There's a reason why your website is dying off. Okay? So, at the end of the day, know thyself. At the end of the day, these movies are trying to interpret you. They always try to interpret you. They're obsessed with you. Sorry, I was eating something. That's why I was burping. But these people, but these wicked ones, these orcs, they know who you are. They know exactly who you are. The only difference is that, do you know who you are? If you don't know who you are, then you're never going to know that you're a Titan. You're going to think everyone out here is a Titan. And I'm like, no, what? Stop thinking of that. Stop thinking that if you looked at ancient mythology, you're going to be like, oh, everyone used to be a Titan. I'm not saying we didn't have animals in this planet that were like Titan-esque, but come on, guys. You mean to tell me that there were not like Titan-esque beings, like a giant monkey, for example? And then when it died off, because when the frequency went low, you mean to tell me that these orcs that invaded didn't look at that body and decided to splice it and put together and make something? Or Zeus didn't grab it and splice it in a way to literally make the modern day orc? And these reptilians? It's just something that I'm thinking of. I'm not saying it's true or anything. It's just something that I'm thinking of. And it could be true, and I could be wrong, and that's fine. It's just something that I'm thinking of. At least I'm thinking outside of the box. At least I'm thinking something that yeah, it might sound weird, but at least I'm using my pure imagination with it. At least I'm going far enough to literally think outside the box that I'd be like, hey, if this did happen, at least I'm open enough to be like, that most likely did happen. You know? It's like that. You know? So we have to come to the conclusion like that, some of us. Some of us are still like, some of us still don't want to use our imagination. Some of us still don't want to use our mind just because we were told to by these people, just by people, for no reason. You want to use your brain for other shit, but when it comes to spiritual enlightenment stuff, you literally want to use the mindset that these motherfuckers gave you. The hell's wrong with you? The hell's wrong with you? You should not regurgitate what the fuck they said to you ever since you went to fucking goddamn school. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. Why are you going to regurgitate what they said to you in school when you know it's when you know that what they taught you in school is bullshit? So why are you regurgitating it? If you know it's a lie, that's how I know that you don't want to learn. You just want to be a slave and want to conform to the bullshit, and I look at you as a piece of shit person. I don't care who you are. I just look at you as a piece of shit person. There's no reason for any of us to bow down to the man when we are titans, giants, monsters. Okay? We are monsters. We should not fucking listen to mortal beings. We are monsters that clearly... Okay, going back to Godzilla -1. In that movie, Godzilla literally grabs an orc and throws him out. That's not just one. That's multiple orcs. He doesn't use his nuclear breath because he's still a baby in that movie. In the beginning. He literally grabs a fucking orc and throws him. He does that to multiple orcs. And I'm looking at that in the theater, I'm like, there's a lot of things in this movie that I did in the Astrodome that they fucking mocked in this movie. They did. They did. Because I was literally the only one on my channel literally saying that wouldn't it be cool if Godzilla did a nuclear breath that was literally like an atomic bomb? And I literally thought about it in the astrodome to the point that I literally did it myself, and these motherfuckers started doing it in this movie. So if you want to know where they got the idea of the nuclear fucking bomb, atomic breath, then you know who they saw. It was me. It was me. Okay? I'm not trying to tug my ego or anything like that, but it is me. When I know, I know. For crying out loud, the new Khan villain in Godzilla X Khan is called King, and I'm called the CHUCKY. Come on, guys. Come on. Come on. You mean to tell me, oh, that's just a coincidence? I told my sister that, and my sister was just like, they couldn't help themselves. I'm like, thank you. They couldn't help themselves. They couldn't help themselves. They cannot help themselves, man. They cannot help themselves. You're obsessed with us. Especially with some of us that know thyself to the point that we're just going to destroy their shit. It doesn't matter what they do. Okay? By the end of Godzilla Minus One, you literally said Godzilla regenerating. And guess what they try to do to take out Godzilla? They put him down in the water, he becomes frozen, and they literally throw a bomb at him, and he explodes in tiny pieces and he falls into the sea. And then by the end of the movie, he starts regenerating and everything like that. How come he didn't get frozen when he went in the bottom of the sea, when he was frozen, when he did the nuclear breath, and then he stopped and he started getting frozen and cold under the water? But that didn't happen when he sank down and started regenerating. See, that's something you need to think of too. Okay? Because these movies do take liberties sometimes. Because at the end of the day, they're movies. They're movies. Sometimes they're going to take liberties of showing you the truth, but also showing you the lie all at the same time. Okay? So you could be confused out here. You just need to pick up the points that you just need to pick up the points that are true, and then question the ones that are not true, and then just question them to the point that you be like, huh, you know? Because if you don't know, you don't know. That's why you question it. You know? So at the end of the day, I'm just looking at my charger for my laptop. So at the end of the day, Godzilla Minus One, you should see it any way you can. Mainly because what they show about us as Godzilla, what we do to them, and plus too, I want to mention this too. I've mentioned this a while back too. In Godzilla 2014, in the opening scene, they literally telling you what they woke up in 1945 when they literally did the nuclear blast. And I'm not saying it was a Godzilla type creature. I'm just telling you that they woke up beings and they were not supposed to wake up. Okay? Seriously, and that's what happened. When they did that nuclear test back in World War II and shit like that, guess what? They woke up beings that was sleeping for a long, long time and they were not supposed to wake up, but they did. Why? Why I said they were not supposed to wake up? Because they thought they were never supposed to wake up, but they did because they were too fucking loud and too fucking stupid chaotic. This is what these motherfuckers are stupid of. They want us to be asleep is sleep, but yet when they become chaotic and wild and we start waking up, oh, it's too much. It's too much. Well, motherfucker, maybe we should have been a little bit quiet. Maybe we wouldn't be wired up and start remembering who we are and remembering what's going on around here and remembering who we are. You decided to rile up us and make us think. And then when we started thinking, guess what? Who woke up? The Cosmic Mom, aka Tiamat, the planet herself. We woke her up because we woke up. And now it's to the point that she sees you and she's gonna fucking destroy your ass. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And we're gonna join her too. We are gonna join Tarat. We are gonna join the Mother Cosmos. We're gonna join freaking Tiamat. We're gonna join her and destroy you to the point that you wish you never came here. Because this is a dragon realm. This is a heaven realm filled with dragons. Okay? You always heard in the Bible that they were in the original text of the Bible, the original text, not the text that you see now. I'm talking about the original Testament. It literally shows, it literally tells you that there were serpents in heaven. Okay? And those serpents in heaven were us. Okay? Those serpents in heaven, they were us. We were titans, we were giants, we were huge. Obviously, to you and me, we look like normal people, obviously. We look like normal size. But when we saw these orcs, we were like, damn, you're fucking tiny. There's literally a fucking, there's literally, I think, not an article, there's literally a website that talks about Christopher Columbus's experience when he first came here in America, and it literally says that he was a cockroach, no, sorry, a grasshopper compared to the giants. A grasshopper was like this compared to a giant. So he was like this, and we were like this compared to him. You think we gave a fuck about his people? Hell no, we just kept walking, kept stopping, kept minding our own business. That's why. What do you think in Godzilla 2014? People were just like, "Why Godzilla doesn't pay attention to humans?" And people started saying because they're like ants to him. And I'm like, thank you. I'm glad some of these orcs can actually point out the stupid retardedness to the other orcs. Because they know what the fuck they're talking about. And they're literally telling the other orcs, are you that stupid? Because this is how the original Titans was, the original people. The people that were born on this planet. The people that were made and manifested themselves on this planet. These are who they are. And you not getting it? Go ahead and not get it. But you're going to be so sorry for yourself to the point when this shit does happen, you're going to be crying like a little bitch. While we are prepared and we know where to go to hide from the Titans. Why do you think I shared that video of them having security about the Titans in that Godzilla show, of Monarch show? The reason I shared that on this channel is because I'm trying to tell you, they are prepared. They are prepared for the Titans. They are ready for the Titans to come back. They are ready. They are ready for the Titans to come back. They are ready for us to literally go after them. They've been ready for a long, long time. Some of them thought it was a joke, but some of them did not thought it was a joke. So they kept preparing over the years and years and years. Why do you think we have underground bunkers and shit like that? So they can hide underneath there. But those bunkers are old anyways. We used to hide under those bunkers anyways. Why do you think those bunkers were huge? They were gigantic. Those bunkers were huge, mainly because they fit giants. Duh. There's no reason why there's an underground facility and it's gigantic to the point that you'd be like, a giant can fit in here. Look at the door. Why the door is the same size as a Titan? It's because that's what it's for. It's for Titan beings to go in there. Stupid concept. Stupid fucking concept, right? Could I be wrong? Oh, of course. Of course I'd be wrong. But of course I could be wrong. But I'm not ruling it out. Because when I look at those doors with underground bunkers and shit like that these military people are in, I'm just looking at them, I'm like, nah, you don't have a bigger machine to the point that you can go in there. And yes, they have showed machines that you can literally make drill a hole in there, and then you can make something else. But guys, that takes years, that takes time to do. And that technology is old. They're just showing you that tech just to tell you that, yes, we use that technology. They didn't. They didn't know how to use that shit. Have you ever seen one freaking orc use that type of machine? No, because it works automatically. Who did they learn that from then? Who did they learn that from? They learned everything from us. You think they just did it right out of the mill just to see if it worked or not? Hell no. Because look, this is how these wicked beings are. If they don't understand how it works, if they don't understand how it is, they destroy it. So they can understand it. You see how they are? They destroy shit to the point that they need to understand it. Then they'd be like, it's this, it's that, but it's not really that, because they only scratching the surface. Because they don't get to the spiritual stuff, because they can't connect to the spiritual stuff. That's why when they tell you about it, they'd be like, oh yeah, that's true and shit like that, but you're just getting the surface. You're not going to the core of it and they can never go to the core, but you can. You can go to the core. Hell, some of these orcs have gone to the core. Not deep enough, obviously, because the vibration is too high for them. Too high for them. They can't even get to the core, to be quite honest with you. All they can do is like, this is the core right here. All they can do is literally go right here. Because if they go to the core, they would die off. It's too much. It's too high of a vibration for them. Because it's not meant for them, dude. It's not meant for them. It's meant for people, you and me. It's meant for people for you and me. Okay? It's time for you to accept that. Our brothers and sisters, it's time for us to accept that shit. Because when this shit does go down, and you still cannot accept what we are, guess what's going to happen to you? You're going to get out of this planet. All right, you're not going to die or anything. You're just going to get kicked out because you didn't believe in yourself. You don't even believe at your people that they can be this way. Because you decided to believe beings that did not give a fuck about you. And that's not my fault. That's your fault. Especially if you're an adult. It's a difference if you're a teenager or a kid. But if you're a full-fledged adult in your 30s and up, then to be quite honest with you, don't skin off my bones, to be quite honest with you. Because there's no reason for you to be gullible like that. If you want to, you want to. I get it. Some people around here are not in tune with themselves and don't know thyself. And that's fine. But eventually you will. Eventually you will. Okay? It's funny too, because we always talk about timelines and all that. What if, which we are the co-creators of all reality, hope you know that. What if you are the co-creator of reality and you can see your friends and family be there, but they can't see themselves? That's a split right there. That's a split. That means their lower self is going to go to a different dimension while their higher selves goes with you. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense, and I hope it does make sense, because that's what I see. If people decide to not take care of themselves and know themselves, that's just me. That's just me. As a sacred clown dragon, as a freaking TheSkullKlown dragon, and from what I can see, hey, I could be wrong. That's fine. I remember saying one time that some of our brothers and sisters might not make it, but I also said that too, that anybody, all of us can make it. It's just up to you, and it's also up to us, because we are the co-creators of our reality at the end of the day. Okay? I'm not saying you can't. I'm not saying that. It sounds like you're trying to save somebody. No, it's not that. Because if you are in tune and spiritual to yourself, and you can see some of your family members be there, but they can't see that, then that says something, man. That says that their higher selves will be there, but their lower selves will not be there. What do you want me to tell you? How do you think I can see? How do you think I will see it like that? You want me to tell you that I believe in them? Like they can make it, but they don't believe in themselves? To me, that's still a split of a timeline. Yes, there'll be one version of them that does believe it, but there'll be a version of them that does not. Because there's different timelines, guys. There's different timelines. There's even a timeline of me not being who I am right now, and I cannot think about that timeline. I do not want to think about that timeline, because that's a timeline that I do not want to be in. I've even told my friends this. I've been told one of my friends this, and he's like, "You think so?" I'm like, "Yes, dude. Because if I don't know who I am, what the fuck are we doing? Sucking my thumb? Wondering what the fuck life is? And then not getting the answer because I'm too lazy to fucking research on a fucking goddamn laptop or research within? Like meditate? Come on. Come on. We can't be this lazy anymore. We can't be this lazy anymore. I know I was talking about Godzilla -1, but I might just title this video Godzilla -1 plus other Enlightenment stuff. Or just talking video, I guess, right? So if you haven't watched Godzilla -1, that's fine. I'm sure it'll go on streaming service eventually. When you do get the chance to watch it, please watch it. It's the same thing with Shin Godzilla. If you haven't watched Shin Godzilla, that should tell you that movie should tell you a lot. There's different forms of us, and Shin Godzilla turns into different forms. And when he turns into his final form, he can literally shoot out a fucking laser through his mouth, through his back, and through his tail. And people thought that was ridiculous. There's a reason why they thought that was ridiculous. See, this is how these orcs are. These orcs, when they see more of the truth and they see how we are, they talk shit about it. But when they don't show so much of it, they praise it like a motherfucker, like we see in Godzilla -1. I'm surprised they didn't talk shit about Godzilla's regeneration, because that would be too much for these orcs. It is, and it still is too much for these orcs. But when they saw this movie, all they all was like, and it's funny too, because if you look at some of these orcs YouTube pages with King Kong versus Godzilla, they mostly voting for Khan. Mostly all those orcs are voting for Khan. Not all of them are mostly voting for Godzilla because they're smart, but the ones that are voting for Khan, you know they're voting for Khan because, well, they relate to a fucking monkey, because that's what they are. They're monkeys. We're not. We're fucking, we're dragons. We're fucking walking dragons. Imagine a dragon walking with wings and a tail and freaking horns and shit like that. And I'm not talking about a reptilian. That's totally different. I'm talking about a cosmic dragon that is literally, that these wicked ones are even scared of. These reptilians are scared of fucking dragons. They wish that they were the original dragon. They want you to think that they are the original dragons, but they're not. They're not. They're not. They're not Nagas. They're not Nagas. They're not. These not Dracos. These reptilians are not Nagas. They're not Nagas. Look at the difference between a reptilian and a Naga, and tell me if they're the same. They are not the same. They're not the same. The hell's wrong with you? If you tell me they're the same, then that tells me you don't know shit. You don't know shit. There's no reason for you to be like, oh yeah, they're the same and they look exactly alike. No, they don't. No, they don't. At one point, some of these reptilians look beautiful. They had feathers and everything like that. But once they started doing bad stuff, guess what? They started decaying like zombies. Now they don't have no feathers at all. Us, we had feathers. We did. We had feathers too, but not exactly what you thought it was. You know how? Have you seen the show Moon Knight? When the main heroine, when Targat goes inside of her and becomes part of her, she goes like this, and she has like wings over here, and they're like metal and all that, and she has like two swords on her. That is what we had. Some of us had metal wings and stuff like that. Not all of us, but some of us did. We had different types of wings, but it was on our arms. Because that's what we were. We were dragons. We flew like this. We didn't have wings over here. Some of us did, yes. Some of us did. But mostly we had wings like this. Because that's what we were. We were serpents. Okay? Again, going back, there's different types of dragons, obviously. But at the end of the day, we are still Nagas. We are still angels. We're angels. We're fire angels. Okay? We are the ones that make sure that these wicked ones don't go to heaven. Does that make sense? The heaven realm made beings to protect the gates in the realm of heaven to make sure that wicked ones cannot go there. But guess what? There's a frequency that they need to match to go there, and if they can't match that, they automatically will die. And if they do go there and they still are wicked, guess what? We take them out. But that's still impossible. The only way that could happen if they're actually, I don't know, part of nature and they automatically go the wrong way. You know, that's really it. That's really it. Because if you're pure wicked, you would never reach the gate. You would never reach heaven. You would never reach it. You would see the light and try to touch it, but it would burn you. You will never touch it. You can never even grasp it. But we can. We'll always be there. Even after death. Even death, we will go back there. Okay? Seriously. So that's really it, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. That's all I need to say about how we are as dragons and everything with the Godzilla movie. obviously this is more about the Godzilla movie, but I want to talk about how the Godzilla movie is compared to us as dragons. All right. So I'll see you guys later. Be safe. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you're new. And if you haven't watched the movie, that's fine. You know, I hope you see it one day just to understand, understand, and understand what I'm talking about. Um, and that's what we are, man. We're a nuclear. We are a nuclear bomb walking. We are a nuclear bomb dragon walking, and that is Godzilla. Okay. So, so in a way, be thankful and be grateful that your ancestors and you are like this, because that's what we are. We were like this, man, and we're going back to that. These guys are. There's already. Look, these motherfuckers can't shoot us sooner or later. They already can't shoot us right now. Some of our brothers and sisters can literally, like, I've seen a video a long time ago when a brother took a bullet, went like that, and he took the bullet out like that. He bled a little bit, but not as much. He literally died. And the other brother grabbed the gun too and shot himself too. At first, I thought it was BB guns, but when I looked at it again, I'm like, oh no, they actually using real bullets. And when I saw that, I'm like, yo, man, that's what we're going to. That is what's going to happen to us. And these brothers tested it out. They were like, they bled a little bit, but not so much that they died. They were just laughing about it. They were like, ha 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 ha, you know? And one of them did the same thing. You know? Trust me, guys. I'm not saying you should do this. Oh, God, no. But because, look, some people might be like, oh, you should test it out and shit like that. The hell's on with y'all? The reason I say that is because if you don't have that right mindset, if you don't have that right frequency, then you're going to hurt yourself. And it's to the point that people are going to see you dead. Don't do that. Don't do that. Please don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. The only way you would do that if you literally know, to the point that if you shoot your own hand, it doesn't even make a hole. It just makes like a little dent. There's blood, but then when you go like this, there's literally nothing. That's the type of shit that I'm talking about. Okay? Because in the comic book of The Mask, they showed a guy wearing the mask, and he shoots himself, and there's like a hole, and then he goes like this, and then it disappears. Sorry, that doesn't happen to us. It does not happen to us like that. It just shows a little mark of a dent, and then we just go like this, and it disappears. Not to say we don't make a hole on us, but at the end of the day, guys, that's just another form of frequency that hasn't reached that higher frequency to the point that when you do shoot it, it just bounces off. Same thing with Shin Godzilla. When we're shooting at Shin Godzilla with the freaking with the helicopters, all it did was like, that's all it did. It just bounced off. That's all it did. That's all it did. That's all it did for Shin Godzilla. In other interpretations of Godzilla too. It's just like that song says of the Black Sheep. Call me. What was it? What was it called? Hold on. Call me an outsider, call me a freak. Watch those bullets ricochet straight off of me. It's true. Call me an outsider, call me a freak, but watch those bullets ricochet straight off of me like there were nothing. Because when you have that type of mindset, when you have that type of knowing, they can't do anything to you. They still can't do anything to you. And when you tell brothers and sisters about that, they want to, they get upset about you. They get worried about you. Because they feel like, oh man, if they actually did this to themselves, they will actually get killed and shit like that. And I'm over here like, then you don't know who you are. There's a reason why they make these movies that automatically someone gets shot and it bounces off of them. And most people are like, but don't they use a shield? And that's still bouncing off. You know? And aren't they higher vibration to the point that something protects them? Exactly. See, this is what I'm talking about. People are not thinking. People are not thinking. They just want to react to the point that they're like, well, it's this and that. Because there's some people on the internet that just want to destroy shit because they think that because they think what you're talking about is fantasy, and they want to laugh at it because they're a piece of shit person. It doesn't matter if they're your friends or family. If they want to make fun of you for it, then they're a piece of shit person. They're a piece of shit person. They're a piece of shit person, in my opinion, that doesn't deserve none of the shit that they should get. Because they're a piece of shit person and they're making fun of the chosen ones. I'm sorry. When you make fun of the chosen one, that's it. It's not the chosen one, but when you make fun of one of the chosen ones that knows thyself and knows what's happening to this planet, guess what happens to you, man? You just get karma. You get karma on top of karma on top of karma. Because you're not listening. You're not listening. You're not listening to, you're also not listening to yourself. And people are going to look at you like, you're an idiot. You're a fucking idiot. If you don't listen to yourself and you keep thinking that, oh, why is this happening to me? It's because you're not paying attention. And maybe you don't care to pay attention. I think that's why you're depressed. That's why no one doesn't want to hang out with you. That's why no one doesn't give a fuck about you. Because you don't care. So why should everyone else? You know? So again, I'll see you guys and be safe. I'll upload this video when I get back home because I'm tired. I'll see you guys later and be safe.